What's up everyone, this is Mookie. Wanted to go ahead and bring you guys a little short video in regards to thought process, the planning of how to take the approach of going into your gamma raids. This is primarily on the gamma raid 4, difficulty level 3, all in which you've been chosen to take either the outer left or the outer right lane, and your second section of it you're stuck on trying to decide on what Wakandan team, what Kree team, or what Pym Tech team to kind of bring into that section. So I'm gonna show you the lanes that I'm running and break it down into you as far as like how to not overly invest into a team that you don't want to invest in, but what key characters you can safely invest in and can help you out in the long run. So I'm gonna break it down to you in today's video here, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. We'll go ahead and take a look at it now. So what I want to go ahead and do first is I'm going to show you just kind of the overview again of the gamma raid. So again, this is gamma raid 4, difficulty level 3, and the lane assignment that I got over here is going to be on the outer left section, and I got one other lane mate with me, and we just kind of cross over. So I do start off with Secret Avengers, can get through that safely, and then so this middle section right here is the one that I'm primarily focusing on. Show you guys how to go about it. So here I went ahead and went through it solo and even got to the Kree Boss Node, and that's usually where the big questions are that I've kind of been hearing, is how do y'all beat that node. But if you do have another lane partner, that's probably the first and more safest thing to do, is that if you have a lane partner, is that both of y'all just do it together. But if not, this video is going to be more so kind of breaking down into how you go about bringing in a trash team, and then bringing your number one A squad to go ahead and just clean up the rest. So it's crazy because even the trash teams, and you'll see in the video, they don't last long. So it's interesting. But yeah, so that's what kind of made me want to go ahead and record these. Recorded it on my cell phone, and I'll share that to you guys in a second. But let's go ahead and break down the lineups of who we're bringing into those nodes. So we're going to start off talking about the Wakanda team. 22 characters that I bring into it, and it's the first two on the list. So you do got Shuri. She's obviously gonna be, she's leveled up for me. And I used her into DD4 as one of the legendary characters. I really like her mechanics, and it's mainly about her first turn defensive up ability on her special. It's just kind of where I guess you can say fall in love into her being one of the key characters. Has a good mechanic there, and also the health aspect, So she's just she's a good health energy battery for the team now, and that's mainly the only reason why. But again, when I go into, you're looking planning ahead, you're thinking about your Doom raids. She's one of the key characters that I use daily in the Doom raids. She's one of the substitute characters that are part of the other bench options, so you want to say, because the core 3 ones are going to be Doom, Kestrel, and Doc Ock. And again, that's when I'm talking about the Doom raid. And then the other two, the plug-in, she's part of that plug-in. It's Shuri. And another character that ironically is going to be on today's video showcase is Ghost. But yeah, so she has the good long-term investments. Her ISO, I have her at Skirmisher. And the T4, so I only put it onto her passive and to her ultimate. And of course, if you have any specific questions into like, what abilities or why I put T4s, just leave your questions on the comments and I can get to those. Now, jumping over to the second Wakanda character that I have is going to be Killmonger. Now, Killmonger, I don't have him overly invested, as you can see. It's a G12. For me, that's my baseline of where, if it's not an everyday character that I use on raids, arena, and so forth, they're just going to be stuck at G12, and that's where he's at. Now, obviously, if you're really into war, he's a good war defensive character. But, that's where I have him at. I mean, so that's a character I don't overly invest in. Why I like pairing him up into it is mainly because of his passive abilities. He does do some counterattacks, and he does some assists there, and just depending on if Shira gets pinged. So he does have those hidden traits. Plus, he self-heals himself with this retribution. And he has drain mechanics and so forth. So he's a good, he can kind of stand and take some of the barrages of hits there on the initial nodes. So he's the main reason why he's in number 2. We jump over to the Pym Tech squad. As I jump over to them, that's where I fill in the rest of the 3. Now what's cool about them is that they do synergize really well with each other. Now, the key person, as I mentioned, that I use on my Doom raids is Ghost. She was also a key character that I use on DD4, so she's already been built up. You know, I didn't have to like reinvest or do something like start investing more into her and so forth. So she's already there. She's very similar to Shuri, almost identical to the fact that like she has the same T4s on her passive and her ultimate. What's different, she has a striker ISO here, and it pairs well with the skirmisher striker combination that Ant-Man is going to go ahead and do. So when you jump into Ant-Man, what's cool about him is to make sure you want to have him as skirmisher. He's going to do those assist attacks here as part of his passive ability. Now, I don't have him overly invested, same as Killmonger, right? Don't have any T4s, don't have him in blue ISO. He's stuck at G12. And if anything, I'm trying to bump him up to level 71. That's all I'm going to do. 71 gives him added focus, which is real key on trying to land this stomp and you're playing slow. So his real two key mechanics is going to be that stomp ability, and again, it's on his passive where he does an assist chance. So if he lands an assist with one of his Pym Tech allies or even a hero ally, then he lands a skirmisher, and then if you have that pairing a striker or skirmisher, then you get 3 hits off, right? So that probably would be a T4. I guess the point I'm getting at is that's a really good T4 to have for him if you have the resource to do that. I don't, so he's stuck. I'm just waiting hopefully to a day I can do that. Hopefully not today to do that. Hopefully we have better characters to talk about, right? But then yeah, so that's Ant-Man. And then the third one is going to be Stature. Kind of same reason, just synergy for her. But what I really like about her and those initial nodes is the fact that whenever you know, she applies like evades to her allies and stuff like that, so she's giving them some added defense mechanics. But it's more about this ultimate ability for her, where she's going to generate ability to her Pym Tech allies, and that would be like another T4 that I would recommend, if any, would be for this one. So that way she can generate 2 ability energies for herself and her allies. But other than that, same story, same dance. She's only G12. Don't have no blue ISO on her, and she's trying to work her way up to like maybe level 71. But yeah, so those are the set of teams that I used on the Wakanda and Kree section. So let's take a look at the video and kind of see how it all comes into play. All right, so here I am. Again, I recorded this on my cell phone, so I'm just kind of showing you guys that I'm in this outer lane here for the gamma rate section. Getting ready to prepare myself for the first section, first node. I'm gonna speed it up because I don't want to take too much time onto showcasing it. I'm not giving a breakdown node by node. It's kind of self-explanatory as far as like, you know, who you're dealing with, especially when you do this on a day-to-day basis, right? You start kind of understanding the turn orders and things of that nature. The one thing I would just tell you as far as tips, in which I misplay. I mean, if you really want to microscope my attack, I mean, I kind of misplay on who I'm going after. My tendency is always like going after the highest health one, and maybe someone's ultimate ability that Killmonger can start killing more at one time. But really what you want to focus on more so is whenever you see this Kree guard, I forgot his specific name, but he's going to apply a taunt. I either ability block him or start pinging him first before he does the taunt, so I just have him already weakened and I can go to the next character. But besides worrying about the taunt, he's also worrying about like the ones with the heavy damage characters that come out there, whether it be the Bruiser or the Key Cyborg. So that's just kind of what I focus on. Now what you will see, I think, is on this video, I do get some bad RNG in which I get Ant-Man pinged. So occasionally someone won't be attacking your characters, but usually it's the lowest health meter. I haven't noticed too much issues with Shuri survivability or Killmonger's, or even Ghosts. It's usually the other two right here on the right. There's Ant-Man or Stature that may get pinged. Now that happens to you, and again, I believe it happens in this video, my substitute or third option is going to be Wasp. And she's just awesome with her evades and so forth. So she has good survivability, and she also good synergy with the other two. Yeah, so there goes Ant-Man. And gonna skip through it all. Or we'll just let it play out itself. I think I got it on the fastest play setting there. Yeah. So, yeah, we see that happen. I mean, we'll just jump into the next. Let me just forward it up a little bit. And remember in this video, yeah, I don't think this video is going to show where plugin wasp. So let me find that video. All right, yeah. So here's the next part of this run that I'm doing here. So there I am plugging in wasp to come in and help out on this final last node. Now, as you're going into the third node here before the boss, which is the big one that I know you guys have questions on, that I had questions on, and it's just trying to think about like getting these two key characters, Shuri and Ghost. I mean, those are the ones that are going to be the options that you want to bring into your boss node. Now, as you're going through this section here, it's not too difficult other than it just kind of being like a little marathon and just kind of going through different waves. But got to be mindful about Ghost as far as making sure that she has her ultimate fully ready. Because the more that you can pop that off on the boss, the better for you. And that's really the key tip that I would give off of that. And of course, same thing with Shuri. You want her to start off with her defensive up ability. So it's just being mindful about your cooldowns and being sure that you have everything that you need for the next boss node. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it here so I don't have too much of a long video. So let me get into that boss node and give a breakdown as far as the characters that you're going to bring into it. Alright, so as I mentioned, those two that we're just kind of focusing on with Shuri and with Ghost, those are going to be the characters that you're going to bring into the boss node. Now the other three that are going to fill that is going to be the Kree. So now with Phyla-Vell, she's the MVP in that boss node. I mean, she's ultimately the one that I'm sure there's other options that you can bring in characters with, but I'm almost 99% sure that everybody's bringing Phyla-Vell as part of their members. And she's already built up. So for me, she was built up because of the arena, when she was part of the Infinity Watch arena. And obviously she's a Heroes for Hire counter now as part of the London War. But I'm starting to see within certain people that are going into DD5 that she's even becoming an option to plug in. Some people even use her bio for Doom raids as part of the team with the symbiotes, and it's all because of this cleanse. I mean, she's gonna clear 2 random negative effects from her allies. So yeah, and then of course if you know their Infinity Watch, which we don't have any Infinity Watch characters, but yeah, she's gonna cleanse them with the negative effects. She's also gonna provide barrier up. She's also gonna go ahead and apply defensive up to herself. I mean, she has awesome survivability, but one of the hidden mechanics here is on her basic. On her basic, it's going to apply offensive down. Now, I don't have the ultimate, the T4, but if you have a T4 on her, she's going to do that for 2 turns, applying the offensive down. Now, that's really, really, really key when you go into that boss node, because as you may experience, especially with Black Panther and with Gamora, they're just pinging everybody away, and then it gets speed up when they kill somebody, and it just gets out of control and gets chaotic, right? So for her to be able to do offensive down for 1 or 2 turns, that's key. Now here's Minerva. Obviously she's been here, an older player for a while. She's part of the Doom, sort of Dark Dimension 3 and 4 runs, so that's why she's already built up. Now she's also part of my tech characters that I bring into my Doom raid. So that's why she's built up here. I don't have her in the Blue Eyes on the Doom 2, but I was using her a little bit. But she's a good character. But the key thing off of her is for her passive ability, where an enemy death, she's gonna go in and start applying some, health, some heal. She's gonna still heal, and she's gonna go ahead and also revive if someone gets pinged from your team. So she's another. That's kind of why she becomes the second option from the key that I plug in. Now, the third and final spot to go in to complete this 5-player roster here on the boss node, there was a toss-up between Captain Marvel and Ultimus. I'll bypass Captain Marvel because I just don't see that much synergy with her that she gives to the team. But this guy right here, he just has some hidden mechanics that are just pretty neat to see happen in action. And it's more about just how he goes after the taunts. Anyone that has taunt on there is going to gain his speed up. He's also going to get his on his ultimate here. He even gets additional power off of it. You know, attack them, bonus attack, 140 for positive effect on them. Like, yeah. So, anyways, I mean, this guy he's definitely in, and I'm sure you've probably seen on some more videos that's kind of why they plug him in here to go after to be the counter on the God, what's his name, Red Guardian. So whenever that team comes out there, that used to be like the Skeleton. The Skeleton team used to go after the Mercs. You plug him with the Merc squad, and then now he defeats your taunt. So he's there for Moonbaku. That's why I plug him in. But also the hidden one is this one right here, is his basic. So his basic is going to go ahead and then give you some added chance to ability block, apply defensive down, mind control one enemy, like all of that. When that happens, it just makes that whole boss node even easier. So do like him for that. But again, not overly investing in him. I got him to that 71 number that I was speaking of just for that focus, trying to get as much as I can. Probably where Skirmisher could come into play if you want to use that, but I'm not going to blue ice him up or anything like that. But Skirmisher would just make added focus for him if you wanted to land more of some of those stripping of the buffs and so forth. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. So I'm jumping into this particular boss node. Now what's going on over here is that I'm throwing in a trash team first. It's kind of where I put in Captain Marvel. There's a better trash team you can build around. I misplayed this one pretty bad. But the key thing that what you're really being mindful about bringing your trash team is that you want Strange's ultimate to go off, and you want Psylocke's ultimate to go off as well. Yeah, you just don't want to see that Winds of Womtoon where he just turns all your positive buffs into negative. So that's all this is. Of course, again, more ideally is if you have a lane mate that can go out there and try to attack with their 1A, 1B team or however they want to approach it. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what you want to do here. So I try to go after Strange. I probably should have gone after Psylocke. And that's how fast he died, right? But anyway, she got her ultimate off. So let's go ahead and jump into the next part of this video. I think that was only 40 seconds, so let me find that next one. All right, here we go. Round 2. This is the second part. Again, didn't have a lane mate on here. I'm going in here with the trash team that did their job. And now I'm coming in here with my 1A squad. Everyone I just kind of outlined. This is after the update, so there's some lag here as far as seeing Minerva and Ultimus come up. But anyways, let's see, maybe I'll play this at 1.5 speed. I'm gonna slow it up a little bit now. So what I want to kind of highlight, and I guess I don't have to break it down too much here, but one of these opening moves on when you have Phyla fully ready to go, I wanted to knock out Strange, and that's my mindset. You're going to see some misplay. I'm sure you may have some better options on here. But yeah, I mean, some people may would have done the basic to go ahead and get his offensive down up. I just wanted to take Strange out and also try to go after Gamora. Then that brings these people fast on the board. So here we go. Now this one, see, I went with his basic. I was trying to get that mind control off of it. Didn't really happen. But also, it's more so I save his ultimate ability until I see the taunt coming up. You can see Ultimus's speed is coming up faster. Now, over here I chose to try to use her ultimate to knock him out. Didn't do much. Here I'm trying to flip it, and I used Ghost Special for that. And then there's the taunt was still up. Yeah, so Moonbaku, man, he's just crazy stats. He's hard to knock out, and that's why again I bring in Ultimus for this reason. Here's when Minerva was kind of on the fence, so I decided to go ahead and do the Steal the Health, try to get her revived, crossing fingers that RNG doesn't play against me where she gets pinged. But yeah, there's Phyla. She's the MVP. She's a hero. She knocks them out. And as we continue on into here, I'm more eyeballing Black Panther. I just don't want him to kill, because you saw them on the fringe, right? His speed goes up, his offense goes up, and he just kills everybody off the board. So I was able to get him off. No. Yeah, and then over here, unfortunately, I lost Minerva. But it's alright. Now I'll go ahead and start going with the same mindset. I'm down to 9 enemies I gotta defeat. Now these are the ones over here that I want to be mindful about putting that offensive down to, especially onto Deadpool here. I believe I probably won't. Since I got the special, I can just boom, group them all together. So that's what I decided to do. But again, it just depends on what you have available. Yeah, her special is just more key with the barrier. And it just has heavy, it's a heavy hit. But yeah, I mean, everything's going through. I'm surviving here. There's the ultimate. Again, that's why you want to have that cooldown ready so you can try to get that off twice during this match. And right now there's no taunt up, so I'm gonna try to do mind control. Didn't work. When you see it, she would have been knocked out. Let's see. There it is. There's Shuri for her health, keeping everybody surviving. Let's see what I decided to do. I don't remember. So yeah, I decided to try to go after him because I know he's going to do the taunt up. I don't want to get stuck behind that, so wipe him out. And try to do a spread attack. And there's going to be no more taunt people, so probably go with the basic. There's the mind control. Boom. Can you imagine that? Never would have thought that Mantis would knock out Gamora, right? But that's just how crazy this whole boss level is. I mean, just... Alright, so now we're good. We got down to 2. Here we go. Try to mind control again. Got it. She knocks her out. And I think we are pretty much done. So yeah, you can see it. I mean, that's game over. That's how, you know, you can go about that boss node there. So I know it's kind of a drawn out process. I just want to show you guys from beginning to end and how it all works out. If you have any questions or other added suggestions, leave them on the comments below. But otherwise, you know, stay tuned on Sunday. So Sunday I'll bring out some new videos as I do every weekly with Menace and Darth. And we look forward to providing you as much content as we can provide. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.